Hi. Last time I filmed a video in my car like this, I came on and talked about how I felt like I was too far gone. I didn't say that my life was over, but I thought that because of medical transition, that I had sentenced myself to living life as a pseudo-mediocre man, and that was just the fate that I had, talking about the long-term effects of testosterone. Now, an update since then. At the time, in early October, I was still on testosterone, and in late October, I decided to stop cold turkey. And so it's been a little over 7 months since then. And I've noticed some changes. I've noticed behavioral changes in terms of how I process things, how I process emotions, crying, all of that stuff. Just kind of stereotypical, but it's true. Testosterone does have an impact on my brain and how I process things. Physical changes as well, body fat redistribution, hormone levels, and all that stuff. But largely speaking, most of the changes are permanent, and that's fine. I've come to a point of acceptance with the current circumstances. My voice is this way. It's going to stay this way. My hairline, obviously I'm growing my hair out. I kept buzzing it until about January-ish, and then I was like, okay, we're going to try and grow it out and see what happens, and I'm trying some naturopathic stuff, but, my hairline is still receded. It's not coming back. Hopefully it's better, especially as it grows longer. But a lot of the changes are permanent, and also, I had a double mastectomy. I had a double mastectomy, and I'm obviously, my breasts are not going to grow back. That's just not going to happen. I had laser on my face, but, I still have permanent body hair growth. I still have permanent hair loss, permanent voice deepening, permanent changes everywhere. And I thought that it was a death sentence for me, and I didn't want to be here after I figured out what I did to myself and what the medical establishment allowed me to do. And I struggled for months. I really did. So why am I logging on now on a new account where I didn't want to bring too much attention to myself? People have found it helpful when I speak. I don't know why. I guess they just like what I have to say, or maybe my perspective. But I think the biggest thing that I want to say is that based on where I was at previously versus where I'm at now, when I filmed that video, I thought there was no hope for me. And now, several months later, I don't know what happened. Sometime in late April, I think a switch flipped for me. Because I cried for months. I was grieving for months. I was mad. I was angry. I didn't want to be here. And I kept trying to hang on. Because I knew it wasn't an option to kill myself. I mean, it is an option, but it wasn't realistically an option. I have a purpose. Just don't know what it is yet, and I know I don't want to live, but I have to keep going. But something flipped in late April for me, and I don't know what it was. And now I do want to keep going, and I'm coping with the changes, and I'm coping with, being perceived ambiguously in society because I'm a conglomeration of secondary sex characteristics, some of which are natural and some of which are artificially induced. But I'm coping. Is it easy? No, it's not. But I'm able to move forward, and I am moving forward, and I've accepted that this is just the reality of things, but it also doesn't have to sentence me to a certain way of living forever. I can still do something great with my life, and I can still move on, and, I don't have to let these changes dictate how I live my life forever. And I think I'm beginning to heal, which is not something that I thought even a couple months ago I could say. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is mainly for people who think that they are trans, or that they regret things, or that they're too far gone and they just can't go back. You're never too far gone to return to who you are. And that might look different for anybody. But it's not bad to question things. It's not bad to look at why you decided to transition in the first place. And it's never too late to take a step back from things. And don't let anybody dictate that timeline for you. You've got to do it on your own time. But I guess the whole point of this is that I want to tell anybody that is in the throes of regret, in the throes of grief, is questioning where they're at with things, that it does get better. I don't think this shouldn't have happened. I don't want this to keep happening to other kids and vulnerable young adults such as myself. But my life is not over because of it, and I think we're a lot more resilient than we realize.